Good morning, folks, and here we're going to take a look at the next installment of Gears of War 5, which I'm not too familiar with the franchise, but for some reason it's not going to have smoking depicted in its story. I don't know why. We're going to read out the article about the person who made the suggestion or the idea in Variety, and I don't know. I mean, think about what if we discovered Earl Grey tea was bad for you? So we eliminate in season 3 of Star Trek Next Generation, Picard just doesn't drink tea anymore for no reason. It's just, we'll just do that. It seems strange. Now, this is a much more mature title. This is a rated M video game where you have guys with chainsaw guns slicing through aliens and just, I mean, it's over-the-top violence pretty much. But smoking is a concern for our youth. And this is all years, decades after the fact that we know that video games do not influence people to actually be violent when there are depictions of violence, or be sexist if there are ever depictions of sexism, all these other things that we know media in general do not do to the young minds of today. So why can't we have sex and violence and smoking? I mean, it's strange. And you have to really grasp or try and grasp where this person or these people are coming from. So Rod Fergusson, studio head at The Coalition, said, "I've seen firsthand the devastating impact of smoking, maybe not while he was playing Gears of War 4, where he saw the devastating impact of a gun decapitate someone or explode their brain. It's always been important to me to not use smoking as a narrative device." What the flying crap is this man talking about? What is... I can't even... Like, the only thing I can think of in video games is Solid Snake and Metal Gear Solid 1, where he has cigarettes and he uses it as a gameplay device to get around the laser beams. That's not even a narrative device. What the hell is a narrative device in storytelling? How would smoking be that way? Maybe in murder mysteries, but this is a cliche where the detective determines the possible murderer based off the cigarette butts, and he has like the encyclopedic knowledge like Sherlock would have of cigars and cigarettes. Like that would be definitely a narrative device, but that's very specific to murder mysteries. And Gears of War does not even come close to the sophistication of mystery in a murder mystery. This is just crazy. What the hell would a narrative device of smoking be in a Gears of War game? What is this guy not smoking? Jeez. Which is why we made the conscious choice, which is why... I'm like, what? How many narrative decisions are made? How many plot devices are in the Gears of War franchise where Dom has to go kill some aliens who have all the smokes? Does this happen in the game? I mean, what? You're down on smokes? Oh no, let's go take that hill? What? They're killing all the tobacco fields. Oh no, we gotta get back at them. Like, what? We made a conscious choice to avoid highlighting or glorifying smoking. Okay, so wait a second. How is highlighting or glorifying smoking have anything to do with smoking as a narrative device? I think he's just throwing around the word narrative, and I'm just being overly sensitive because I know what the word means. But this is, even if I wasn't that sensitive, like what? Who cares? You have characters who smoke. They're frickin' soldiers in an alien invasion war. I think they can afford a few vices. I think it's like, hey, you know what? Maybe he should gamble. He's gambling his life. Why not gamble for money or whatever? Maybe he's gambling for smokes. Maybe he likes to do drugs. Maybe he likes prostitution. Maybe he likes all these other vices like drugs and booze and whatever. But smoking, okay. And throughout the Gears of War's universe moving forward, No one in the Gears of War universe will ever smoke, according to a rep for Xbox Game Studios. How crazy. Like, this is not even a get woke, go broke scenario. This is just dumb. This is insane. How many more billboards on smoke cartons or cigarette cartons do we need to tell people that, yeah, smoking's bad for you? We get the message. Everyone and their baby infant who hasn't learned to read or write yet knows that smoking is bad for you. It's called breathing. You go, oh, that doesn't smell good, or I'm coughing now. Oh, what was that? Someone's inhaling a little cigarette stick. Oh, yeah, okay. That's how that works. Okay, I get it. Jeez. Past Gears of War titles have included occasional scenes of tobacco use, with certain characters holding cigarettes or cigars. The removal of tobacco depictions of Gears 5 has been months in the works. Senior VP, Turner Sports Sales, and head, of course, a marketing guy, and head of Turner Sports Digital and E-League Sales Strategy and Revenue. What? This took a lot of time and a lot of good thinking. We wasted a lot of time and a lot of money to not have something in the game. Are you joking me? What did they do? Okay, writers, we're not having smoking. The writers are like, okay. Sure, we don't care. You could have told them that, like, day one. Like, we have to do some research, spend some money, do some surveys, talk to some kids. What's really impacting you when you play Gears of War? I have this really strange urge to smoke, sir. Like, what? Are you sure? Maybe it's the whole e-cigarette things or vaping craze. Maybe they're going to have vaping. Maybe this is a big publicity stunt for them to promote vaping because it's marketing, and marketing is like, no. Vaping is the next big thing. That's what we're gonna sell. We're gonna sell vaping cartridges in Gears of War 6. It's all this long marketing game. The right image for E-League. Who the hell cares about E-League and the game itself to project? Like, shut up. Of course, Gears 5 still includes a ton of shooting and glorifies violence. No kidding. The game is rated M for audiences 17 plus. For blood and gore, I mean, strong language. Yeah, that's what's going to be next. Strong language. Can't have strong language anymore. That's too it's too influential to the E-League. It's just not the right audio image when you have strong language. Jesus. Is there a double standard? Well, there's some standard I don't understand in keeping the violence while the parties involved congratulate themselves for their anti-smoking stance. I don't think it's a double standard. I think they're called morons who are behind the wheel, or the creative wheel, or the visual depiction of characterization. For one thing, as the video game industry has repeatedly noted, there's no evidence of a causal link between violent crime and gaming. Ledetsky said the elimination of smoking doesn't change the nature of the game itself. It does when we look at the game and going, oh, you're getting rid of smoking, and we're trying to rationalize it, and you're giving us dumb reasons, and we just sit there and we laugh our asses off at how dumb you people are. It's stupid. And he cited research that shows a correlation between higher exposure to tobacco depictions in entertainment. I want to see this research, and a higher instance of smoking adoption among younger people. I think the only people I would consider, if this was a positive study correlation, like a positive correlation between consuming media and doing this negative behavior. I mean, look at really interesting ways that has been depicted in movies. And the best I can think of is the film noir aspect of black and white movies, where almost every scene there's some person or some secretary or some girlfriend or some femme fatale, and they're rolling a joint. They're rolling tobacco, they're rolling whatever. And it's seen off as this natural, normal thing that people do. They have a martini, they have a smoke, they do whatever, they're talking to someone. It's this image, it's part of the culture of of noir film or noir storytelling. So I don't know how the devil smoking, I mean, maybe they watched back-to-back seasons of Mad Men, maybe. That would be more modern. As you remove these images, it does have an impact. So the guy is now making the argument that, yes, removing images of negative behavior or cool behavior or attractive behavior, I guess like sex and violence and smoking and doing fun things, makes people want to do sex and violence and smoking. Maybe it's just smoking. I mean, we have to see this research and actually understand it and see if it's worth its ink. It's like, what? News that Gears 5 is stubbing out smoking comes after Netflix. Oh, here we go. Conspiracy theories. Last week said it will cut out tobacco imagery in its originals rated for younger viewers. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Netflix is a bit weird, but okay. Sure thing, Netflix. What shows will it have, or has it had, that had smoking that they're going to remove? That's a lot of shows. They're going to take their entire backlog of hundreds of shows they have and just start cutting out all the scenes with smoking? That doesn't sound practical. With the exception of maintaining historical or factual accuracy. Okay. So it's okay when we have a scene with Hitler lighting up a pipe or whatever, but we can do it when it's just fictional. Okay. That came after Truth released a report finding that tobacco use, a TV series popular among those aged 15 to 24, had surged in the past year, and that Netflix original series Stranger Things and Orange is the New Black among the worst offenders for showing smoking. Okay, so Stranger Things and Orange is the New Black. Fine, I mean, okay. I want to see these reports. Truth, which is dedicated to ending tobacco use among young Americans, has targeted smoking. Okay, so it's obviously an advocacy group, and they're influencing now video games. The Truth Initiative. Okay, so it's the Truth Initiative. All right, this is something we have to look into, because if this is the case, then what's next? I mean, violence, sex? I mean, there's all sorts of other questions we have to ask here. But that's really what I would do homework on right now, is check out the Truth Initiative's findings and see any criticism, see what they have to say, see what others have to say, and see what stats they actually use. Stats can be flubbed, stats can be faked, stats can be very accurate. It depends. We have to find out. It's just, this is really ridiculous. As a principle, it's not a big deal. I don't smoke. I don't really care for smoke. I've never smoked in my life. But we're talking about a fictional universe where over-the-top violence exists. I mean, let these guys smoke, for God's sake. It's not going to kill them. They're not real. It's not going to make me want to run out and get some smokes because I want to chop up an alien with my lance. Anyway, this is me just ranting. Thanks, guys, for listening. If you guys know anyone, because apparently they have some true stats that make this a real issue. If you know anyone that's been influenced by Gears of War or Stranger Things or some other videos or media that caused them to start smoking, tell me in the comments. I'd be very interested to hear any stories you have to share on that topic. Thanks for listening, fellows, and have yourself a great morning.